crazy. Ben was a young man who liked to do good, but he did it in the craziest way possible. Instead of stealing things and giving them to people in need, he would break into people's homes when they weren't there and leave things behind. And by things, I mean boxes of stuff. One time he even left an entire TV set in the middle of a stranger's living room. You're probably wondering why he did this. Well, it started when he was just a kid. He saw how his mom struggled to make ends meet, and he hated seeing her upset. But he also hated seeing people in need. So when he grew up, he came up with a wild idea. He found a box full of old CDs in the basement and started going door to door, breaking into people's houses and leaving the box on their doorstep. Then he moved on to bigger things like flat-screen TVs and PlayStations. He stole thousands of dollars worth of merchandise from stores and hid it in people's houses. At first, the police were confused. Why would someone break into a house and not steal anything? They even put out a statement asking for Ben to come forward so they could question him. But after that, he became even bolder. He would target rich people's houses, taking whatever he wanted, then replacing it with something of equal value. For example, if he took a TV, he'd leave behind a box of DVDs. If he took a PlayStation, he'd leave behind a brand new bicycle. He even had a system. If he took something from a wealthy person, he'd give it to someone poor. If he took something from a married couple, he'd leave the item in the bedroom. If he took something from a single person, he'd leave it in the bathroom. One time, he broke into a house and saw a little girl crying because her dog had just died. He left a stuffed animal on her bed and a note that said, "For the loss of your dog, here is a friend for you." The girl's parents were so grateful they offered him a reward, but he refused to take it. He didn't do it for the money. He just wanted to make people happy. In the end, the police caught up to him and asked him why he did what he did. He told them about his mom and how he wanted to help others. The police were moved by his story, so they made him an offer. They said if he helped them find people in need, they would give him a small amount of money to help his mom. And that's exactly what he did. We all know the classic story of Robin Hood, but have you ever heard of Ben? Well, Ben was a bit obsessed with doing good, but in the craziest way possible. Instead of stealing from the rich, he would break into people's homes just to leave things behind. His idea was simple. If thieves take things, I'll give things. So every night, he would put on all black clothes, grab his backpack full of gifts, food and toys, pick a random house and sneak in. Through the window or garden, he would leave weird things in weird places like chocolate-stuffed toast in the microwave, a dinosaur toy in the bathroom, even a full pizza in the washing machine. At first, people were confused. Who was doing this and why? But then the whole town started talking about the generous thief. And by the time the police were called, there was no crime to solve. It was just an unwanted donation. They couldn't find the thief, but everyone was getting a pretty good laugh out of it. That is, until Ben broke into the wrong house one night. He was so focused on leaving gifts that he didn't hear the family inside. He had to hide in the closet for hours until they fell asleep. And in the quiet of the night, he listened to their stories, their hopes and struggles. For the first time, he thought maybe there was a better way to help. So when he came out of the closet, it wasn't to leave gifts. It was to reveal himself. He told them about his crazy plan to be a reverse thief, taking things out of the rich and giving things to the poor. And though they were scared at first, they started laughing. They talked about how he could actually help them by taking things they didn't need, like the old TV in the basement or the broken toys in the attic. Then he took them up on their offer and carried out the first reverse robbery in the history of mankind. He was so excited that he called all the local news stations. Soon, everyone in town knew about Ben and his crazy plan, and before he knew it, he was famous. He got so many donations that he started an adventure show called Operation Reverse Robbery. In each episode, he would sneak into a house, find something valuable, and donate it to someone who needed it more. And though some people thought it was a bit crazy, most of them loved the idea. After all, who wouldn't want to be a part of the reverse robbery?